Okay, our topic of the day is search engine results pages. A search engine results page is that page of information that you get back from Google after you have sent information up to Google. And of course, we're going to be talking about Google today. This applies to any search engine, but we're playing in Google's world, so we're going to talk about Google. So what you do is you enter into information into your laptop or your computer or your phone. And what you have there is you've got a text input, so words. You might also be using some of the newer technology to be doing voice input. Either way, you're entering in words that it's going to try and do a match for. So what the search engines do is they take those words and they bring them up into the search ecosystem, the Google search engine search system there. And what it does is it brings you up there. We'll go up into there, and it applies a whole bunch of rules. Those rules are called algorithms. And what it tries to do is it tries to find the best possible answer to whatever your query was. So in this case here, I had done a branded search of putting up with Doc T. So what it did is it went and it took all the information that it had about those keywords, applied algorithms to try and come up with the best results that matched whatever that search were. And what it does is it then returns a result, and it sends that result back to my computer. Let's zoom in a little bit here. And this is your search engine results page. So in this case, you'll see up in the upper corner there, you've got putting up with Doc T is the search that was there. And what you see is it brings back a series of results that most closely match what Google thinks you were trying to find. And that's an evolution that we'll talk about, because it used to just look for search terms. Now it's looking for meaning. And so those algorithms have been designed to try and identify what meaning you're actually trying to do. And it gives you a series of results there that match that. Since I did a branded search, specifically using a term with quotations about it, I was able to sort of make sure I knew what kind of results that I was getting here. And all the results that you see in here are directly from the various properties that are associated with this brand. And so what you end up with is, following these results, you end up with, for instance, there's the YouTube channel, there's the blog, there's the Facebook channel, and above them you can see a clip of what came out of that search engine results page that led to that particular property being found. Now, if we go back to the search results page, you can also find images. There's other kinds of searches that you can do, news, images, videos, maps, etc. And so you can refine what kind of content it's giving you in those. But these results are pretty much exactly what I was looking for, the branded search for putting up with Doc T. Now, what we're going to look at next is how does it come up with the content that it puts into that individual portion of the search engine results page, so that the individual results. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the home page for the blog, putting up with Doc T, a learner's journey. And the way that we do that, we come to that website, and what we want to do is we want to actually go behind the scenes, behind the content, to the code that makes up that page. So I'm going to bring this over here just a little bit. I'm going to zoom in so that we can see a little bit better. And what you'll see here is that if you come over to the URL that we're looking at the source code for the website putting up with .kevinwtharp.com, which is the home of the blog for putting up with Doc T. And what you'll see in here are there's certain elements, and I've highlighted them in yellow. So here we've got the title tag, and you'll see the code for putting up with Doc T, a learner's journey, and the codes in there are the different symbols that I used. And so that's the title tag. So putting up with Doc T, and that shows up in several places. First off, it shows up in that tag when you're looking at the browser tab. It shows up there. So right there when you're on the page, but within the search results, that information also shows up as this section right here, the title. Now the next thing that we've got is the meta description. So this second line, if you're using it, you've got control of that. So the way that you do that is on the page, you put in a meta description, and that's going to define the information that goes in there. Now you'll notice that on this page, because this is actually a WordPress site, it's optimized for social media as well. So depending upon where you're looking at the reference to this from, there's a meta description over here, but there's also an OG description, and that's used for the social media. So by putting those elements in your search engine, in your web page, you're able to affect the terms that come into that result in the search engine results page, and it's coming from your content or from the HTML code that is behind your content. And that is one of the factors that you need to really pay attention to when you're doing SEO. You need to look at those meta descriptions and those title tags, because this is your first chance to get somebody to go from having found your property to click on it. So they've entered their search terms, they've come up with the search engine results page, and you want to have information in there in that title tag and in the meta description that is going to convince them to go to your site instead of somebody else's. So that's a quick summary of a search engine results page and how it works. In other videos, we'll go into a lot more detail about the kind of information that works into the algorithms that the search engines are using when they're coming up with your search engine results page. And that's all I've got for you today. We will talk to you soon with more information about search engine optimization, success vectors, and all the different things that you need to do in order to be successful in search engine optimization so that your content ends up in the search engine results page.